The Ringer Gambling Feed is your one-stop shop for all things betting throughout the NFL season, from week 1 all the way through Super Bowl 58 in Las Vegas. We have you covered every which way. We got our favorite futures, we got props, we'll discuss the lines, and of course, we'll throw in a few parlays. That's a given. So whether you're a sharp or square bettor, we'll be breaking it down in terms hopefully everybody can understand, and we'll try to win some money along the way. So be sure to subscribe to the Ringer Gambling Feed on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts.
This episode is brought to you by Anytime Fitness. We may talk a whole lot about sports, but when it comes to keeping fit ourselves, there's definitely room for improvement. I hit this point early July. I was just like, I am not in good enough shape. I started trying to walk at least 15,000 steps a day, or hiking, or just anything to keep my legs moving. Now it's the end of 2023. I feel great. I had a physical 3 weeks ago, and the guy was like, "You're doing great. You're doing better than you were 3 years ago." I felt great. Whatever your goals are, progress is possible thanks to Anytime Fitness. Get a personalized plan and support from an expert coach anytime, anywhere. Visit anytimefitness.com to try Anytime Fitness for free. Start to train for your life. Terms, conditions, and restrictions apply. See website for details.
Welcome to today's podcast. My name is Kevin O'Connor, and joining me today is Matas Buzelis from the G League Ignite. He's a 6'10" forward who can handle the ball, shoot threes. He someday wants to be a versatile defender. That's something he brought up to me during my conversation with him today. I really enjoyed it. Buzelis, like Holland last week, like Sarr, very smart, self-aware, knows who he is, knows what he needs to get better at. I think these conversations, Holland last Wednesday, Sarr last Friday, Almanza later this week, and Buzelis today, all of them seem to have a good awareness of who they are as prospects. That's one of my key takeaways from all of these conversations. And with the G League Ignite this year, with Holland and Buzelis, Almanza, Tyler Smith, a bunch of others on that team, the Ignite are more loaded than ever. And one of the things that Buzelis brought up to me early in this conversation is their desire to be a competitive winning team. They don't want to be just a developmental program like the Ignite has seemingly been in recent years. We'll see if that can happen this year. I personally think from watching the Ignite play 2 games against Perth, Buzelis needs the ball in his hands more. We talked about his ability to pass during this conversation. I don't think he ran point guard enough. He's the far superior prospect to London Johnson, who was the guy running point for them. He's got to be their guy running the offense. He's capable of doing it, especially in the half court. We'll see if that happens over the course of the season from Coach Jason Hart. They have a lot of promises that are made to prospects that they get to sign up to play for these teams. Going to be interesting to see what happens, but nonetheless, some up and down games for Buzelis against Perth. Overall, I was highly impressed by him. And I think the conversation reflects a lot of his potential and upside this coming season. Here's my conversation with Matas Buzelis.
Here with Matas Buzelis with the G League Ignite, potential #1 pick in the 2024 NBA draft. Matas, how are you doing today, man?
I'm great. Great day today. I mean, yesterday was a fun game, and we're getting ready for Friday now.
You had your first game of the G League Ignite against Perth, exhibition games, of course, but it's a great experience. I was here 1 year ago with the Victor Wembanyama versus Scoot Henderson game. This year, like the G League Ignite are loaded. I mean, like you and Ron kind of are the headliners as potential #1 picks, but whether it's Almanza or Smith, you guys have a ton of talent this year. What are your early assessments of playing with this group? Feels like chemistry's high right now. A lot of smart, high IQ players.
I mean, it's extremely fun first playing with all these guys. I mean, everyone's from different countries, different states, whatever, but we all brought it in together, and we figured out in practice that we could be like really good and we can make history for Ignite. So I think it's going to be a great season for us, and we're going to learn a lot all together.
You talk about making history. I was talking to Ron Holland earlier, and he's somebody who's like the winning attitude that he has, and you have that as well, where it's like the hustle, the competitiveness. It's a lot of guys like that on this team. And I think like choosing the G League Ignite, I think on one hand, you could look at it from the outside and say, well, hey, Modest isn't going to get 20 shots per game every night, or Ron's not going to get that. But you guys are in a position where you can prove yourself. Right. It seems like without having to score every night. Was that part of the appeal and being part of this loaded roster to the Ignite?
Yeah, I mean, whatever, we don't really care about who scores. We're all trying to, I think the cool part about all of us is that we're all not selfish and we're all looking for the other guy. We're not really worried about what we do on the court. It's about getting the win and showing that you can progress through every game. So.
And with you, I think yesterday, your second half was great. The first half, there were some good moments, some of the moments where you got blocked by Sar. But the second half, you showed off basically everything that makes you such a high level prospect. Yeah. With your type of game, I feel like you are something that can fill any type of role in the NBA. 6'10", Ron Holland called you a 6'10" guard. How would you assess kind of your potential game moving forward as this versatile piece?
Yeah, I mean, saying that, I mean, first quarter, I was struggling a little bit, but I mean, finding the rhythm, and I think I can adjust pretty fast to whatever the pace of the game might be. Or, I mean, first professional game is a little different from high school, getting straight from high school. So it was a big jump, but I think I adjusted pretty fast into the second half of the game. And I mean, also saying that I can play pretty much any position. I'm gonna, whatever the coaches want me to play. I mean, even in the next level, whatever my coach wants me to do, I'm going to play that position. I'm going to do it at the best of my abilities.
What shifted between the first half and second half? Are you talking about adjustments? Is it speed of the game, physicality?
Yeah, physicality, staying lower to the ground for me, I'd say, so I wouldn't get pushed around more. Also, I'd say it was kind of the speed, and I was very excited, so I was kind of breathing hard. I couldn't even breathe. I was so excited, but I mean, easing into the game, it was easier for me, and I think, I mean, this is what I work for. So,
did your parents play basketball?
Yeah, both of them did.
I see. So is that who you get? What do you get from each of them? Is there particular skills, shooting? Yeah. What do you get from each of them?
I think my dad's just kind of dog mentality. He was just like a defender that like scrappy. And my mom was like a scorer, so all mixed together.
So you get the best of both worlds. I think with you, like, you have such a high floor as a player in the sense that at 6'10", with your high IQ, your feel for the game, and your shooting, like, you're going to be in the league 10 plus years. And with your shooting ability, this last year in high school, you shot 43%, and you're shooting off of movement, off of screens, off the dribble. Was your shot always this pure from three, or is this something that got better over the course of time in high school?
Yeah, I remember when I was about 8th grade, I'm pretty sure, I used to shoot like this, two hands, everything but Dimitri Pearson, my trainer, me and him worked throughout like the summers when people would kind of leave for like vacation. We'd kind of like take it serious and we'd focus on the shot for him. And throughout the years, I mean, it's just become reps, but getting even more reps is important. I mean, now on the stage. So I'm kind of focused. John Jenkins, also a teammate, helps me on my shooting for him. Even today, like I wasn't staying low on my shot, so I didn't get no arc on it or anything. So John kind of like, he's like, stay low, stay focused and do everything the same. Just stay lower. He fixed my shot today, and I'm thankful to have him also there because, I mean, he kind of explains it just like my trainer does. So it wasn't like that throughout the years, but just really focusing in practices and my form every day, it just progressed throughout the years.
Are you practicing some of those like movement shots coming off of screens or handoffs?
Yeah, I do. I mean, Ignite, we do a lot of like curl shots. I mean, what else do we do? We do like catch and shoot threes, stuff like that. We pretty much do everything in practice.
I see. And did you do those in high school, or is it something like did you practice your footwork coming off of movement?
Yeah, a lot. Yeah.
Okay, I see. So is that something you did like on your own? Like, were you rebounding for yourself, your trainer? Like, what were the things you were doing to help master those movement threes?
Yeah. just continuing to do, I mean, keeping the same, every like shot has to be the same. So getting that into your head, it just clicks in game for you. So when I was with my trainer, Dimitri, that's all we do, catch and shoot, off the movement shots, like curl shots. And then at Sunrise in high school, I would do it kind of like after practices because we wouldn't do it like decent amount of skills. So I would just stay after practice and work on those too.
Now, with your game, like we're talking like shooting, you have the dunk and game one against Perth. You can handle the ball. Where's your current level as a ball handler, as like playing pure point guard? How would you assess yourself in that category right now?
Yeah, I can play point guard. I'd say I used to play point guard for my AAU team, so it's nothing new to me. Like I can handle bringing up the ball. I mean, and my ball handling skills is still great. I'd say I just in this level, you can't really do a bunch of fancy things. It's just 3 dribbles max, you know.
No, with your handle, is there anything you're working on mechanically to tighten it up?
Yeah, just sharpening the ball handling skills. Pretty much, me and T. Scott are player development coach at G League. He helps me all the time pregame to just get the handle right, and he's good. Does a good job.
I mean, the great thing about your game is even if you're not bringing the ball up the floor once in a game, you have the ability to be a screener, cutter, mover. With your game, like, is that something you've always had, or is it something you developed over time to have that off-ball impact that you constantly seem to have on the floor?
Yeah, at Sunrise Christian, I mean, I didn't really bring the ball up, so like learning how to get like easy buckets off cuts.
Who were your teammates?
What?
Who were your teammates?
Oh, for on the team, I played
best teammates. Like anybody on that team?
Yeah, it was. We had Miro Little, Layden Blocker, Scotty Middleton, John Bull, played Almar Allison. So playing with them, I kind of developed like a cutting and screening, especially for the one player, Almar, who plays in Iceland. He's a great shooter, so I would screen for him, and I'd find that I'd be open because everyone would go at him, shooter.
Do you watch a lot of NBA games? Do you like watching the playoffs at all? Or are you more like watching highlights of players on?
I like watching full games just to see like what mistakes players make. It's not just all about like the one highlight play. It's more than that.
Is there a role that a player has, or any particular player that you feel like, oh, I can like take from that, or I can fill that type of role potentially?
Yeah, I'd say like Paul George is defensive, and that's what I look like the most on film. So it's kind of like weird because I'm not really that good defensively now, but I think I can be a really good defensive player.
What's like the difference between where you are today and then getting to that like maximum level that you can as a defensive player? Is it something athletically? Like what's the gap between that stage right now, you think?
I think it is conditioning. It's more conditioning because I think when I'm like I have a lot of energy, I play good defense, but like when I'm like kind of fatigued, it's kind of tough, and my feet are kind of slow, and I think getting in the best shape, that's when I think I could be the best.
Now, with your overall game, like what teams do you like to watch? Like, is there any types of teams that you like watching that you could see yourself playing on?
Not really. I kind of look at every team. I like watching every team.
Did you ever watch Lamar Odom at all? I feel like one of my comps for you is like prime Lamar Odom. He's a 6'9" guard. In today's NBA, if he were playing in modern times, I feel like he could have a role like you. You could be that guy who's helping run an offense. You could be a guy who uses a screener in certain matchups, picking apart a defense out of a short roll. He can shoot off the catch. Is that a name that you know at all?
I've heard of the name, but I haven't really watched highlights. I might have to search that up for sure.
Okay, I think he's worth watching. You were with Ron Holland and some of your G League Ignite players, the Rico Hines runs in LA. How did those go? Any memories from those games playing with your teammates there?
Yeah, it was fun. I'd say it was playing against NBA players was competitive, but I think we held our own out there, and we got on the winning court. We won there against forgot who the team was. It was like Harrison Barnes. It was Jalen Green, Serge Ibaka. Yeah. So yeah, we won against them. It was fun. And then after like we won, it was like the championship for us, yelling all over the court.
That must have been. So it was like all G League on your team.
Yeah.
So there's never mixed rosters.
Yeah, it was me, Ron, London, Baba, and Tyler.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's how you guys seem to have so much good chemistry already.
Yeah. Playing those actually helped a lot of recall.
Really? Were you playing like scrimmages together prior to that? Like, how long have you guys been playing together?
That was our first scrimmage together.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was crazy, yeah.
Because you guys, like, your chemistry in game one against Perth, I was surprised at, honestly, how good the team looked already.
Yeah.
But I guess that's what happens when you put a bunch of smart basketball players together, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But we can be so much better.
Mm-hmm. So you see, like, the way you talk about it, like you mentioned the wanting to make history, it feels like you guys want to, like, win a championship.
Yeah.
You don't want to just be this developmental roster. You want to win.
Yeah. Exactly. That's what we want to do. And we all have that mentality.
You talk about it together?
Yeah, we do.
You have like a text thread?
And we talk about it in the locker room, how good we can be. So, yeah.
Where does that come from for you? Have you always loved winning?
Yeah. It was, I mean, working hard like before that one big game that you have, like the championship, and you know it's all like right there. It feels so good to win. It's like adrenaline just goes through your body and it feels good, you know? So winning is just, I don't know, it's in my blood.
Do you get that from your mom, your dad? They both super competitive?
I think it's just me. I mean, I think they were competitive, but I don't know if I got it from them.
Now, like, did you win any like high school championships? Like what's the highest thing you've won in your life so far?
Ooh, I'd say probably the Basketball Without Borders MVP or the Gatorade National Player of the Year.
Okay.
Yeah. Not the in the state.
I see.
But I think I could have won the national one too if it wasn't for some. I'm not going to talk about it.
Are there any NBA players you're close to?
Jonas Valanciunas, Harrison Barnes. I'm kind of close. I wouldn't say I'm really close to him. I know a decent amount, but I wouldn't say I'm close to them.
I see. How often do you talk to Valanciunas?
Every now and then, you know, when he has a chance, he reaches out.
You watching him with FIBA at all? Or are you watching any of the World Cup games?
Yeah, I've watched a little bit. I'm not really waking up to watch those.
It's tough on the West Coast.
Yeah.
I'm LA based. It's like some of those like 3:30 a.m. tip-offs.
I wish they were like our time because I love watching those games.
They're so fun.
Crazy.
The pace of play, the 40-minute instead of 48 minutes. They're not, rewarding grifting on foul calls. Like the FIBA game.
They're good.
I think the NBA is going to like take some notes from what they're doing and install in the NBA. Do you agree with me as I say that?
I agree.
You do? Like, what do you like about it? Like, what should the NBA take from there?
I don't know. I kind of like the goaltending thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think it's fair to do that.
I think it's cool too.
Even in FIBA, they don't even do it as much. So in the NBA, you know.
Well, the NBA has like so many more like genuinely elite of the elite athletes that it could probably be even more powerful in the NBA than it would be in FIBA.
Right.
Now, with like entering this coming G League season, you're sharing the court with a ton of good prospects, like we talked about. How would you describe Ron Holland to somebody who's never watched him play?
I'd say he's just a dog, and he will go get like anything, block shots, he'll score, he'll be a good teammate even when he's not scoring, you know. He's a dog. That's what he is.
Now, with Almanza, he had a really good first game. I have him fifth on my board. You, Ron, and Almanza are all in my top five. With him, how would you describe him to somebody who's never watched him play as well?
Versatile, but also like just very fundamental. Also, he doesn't do too much, but he's also just does everything on the floor when he's on there. So, Ron
asked me to ask you this very important question. What do you like about Ron? What do you like about Ron Holland?
Out of basketball?
I don't know. He just asked me, what do you like about Ron Holland?
He's hilarious.
Yeah.
He's so funny. Just being around him is just top 5.
Why top 5? What makes him top 5?
I don't know. The things he says, I can. Monty knows.
Can you tell me a story?
Ooh.
Something that doesn't get him canceled.
No, all of them.
You don't want you to kill his draft stock.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I do. So you guys, both guys are laughing.
No, I'd say like when we're on the court, he just sometimes when there's like a moment if someone says something kind of crazy, I'm not gonna say what. It's just we crazy. We just find eye contact like out of nowhere. Wherever he is, I just find him and he's just staring at me. It's just funny.
I mean, he likes to talk trash.
Yeah.
And he told me he needs to tone that down because he used to get a lot of texts growing up.
Yeah.
He got a tech in game 1.
Mm-hmm.
Are you a trash talker as well? Or are you quiet on the floor?
Yeah, I talk. Actually in the Rico runs, it was insane. Me and him, what we were saying, I don't even want to talk about it because we're just like, we're the underdogs, you know. We want to we want to be in the NBA. Mm-hmm. So we were just, it was crazy what we were saying. But I do talk.
Who's the best player you went up against in those runs?
Ooh, Andrew Nemhart, probably.
He's really good. Yeah, he had a great rookie season.
Really good. Who else was there? Scotty Barnes. He was tough. He's tough. We didn't play against Bones Highland, but he was so good. So good.
With the NBA this coming season, Nuggets are favored to win the championship again.
Yeah.
Like they get Jokic back, they get Jamal Murray back. They added some good draft prospects this year. Jalen Pickett, Hunter Tyson, they have a really good team. Who are the teams that you think are best in the NBA right now? Are there any teams you're going to be watching a lot this coming season?
Yeah, I'm pretty much going to be watching like any team, but I think for the championship, I don't know. I just got a feeling the Bucks will win. I don't know why. And then also, the Nuggets, one of those two teams, I'd say.
I mean, with the Bucks, it's going to be interesting because Giannis fully healthy now. Brook Lopez, even though he's in his mid-30s, still a dominant guy. Like, there's not many players who are 7 feet who can shoot threes and protect the rim at an elite level. But then Chris Middleton, he's going to be the key, I think, because he was hurt last year. He can get back to being Chris Middleton. I mean,
it's going to be tough.
Yeah, dude. Like, it's hard to stop. But Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, that backcourt with Giannis, Brook Lopez, they're nasty.
Yeah.
The Heat, you like watching them?
Yeah, I like the Heat. Yeah, I always like the underdogs. You know, that's the best team for me.
You must have liked watching the Heat to go from playing to
it was crazy. The lineup too. They were all second round draft picks.
I know, undrafted guy.
Yeah,
like I think like they're a great example of a team that like you're going to be a lottery pick, no doubt about it. But no matter what path you take going to the NBA, you can still have great success.
Exactly.
Miami's a good example of that. Last question for you. What do you love about basketball?
Good question. I don't know. I don't know what I like about it. I just like to learn. It's about like basketball. It's just, I don't know. I fell in love with it somehow. I don't know how, because I didn't even like to play basketball at first, but just like, I don't know, putting the ball in the hoop is just something satisfying about it. Also like learning, because you cannot like stop learning about basketball. I'd say there's so many things you can learn about. It's crazy.
How do you go from not liking it to loving it and becoming your passion? When did that happen? How old were you?
I'd say that transition year where I started to like it was like 8th grade. I started to take it like really seriously. My trainer like kind of told me you could be really good, and I was like, yeah, I can be. You know, I saw like the progression throughout the years, and I was like, yeah, like let me take this seriously, and maybe I can do something with it.
Something about being good at it, like having talent in it, and that kind of helps spark that love that you have for it now. Now with you, last thought, like based off of that, like obviously your potential that right now you could be the number 1 pick, and if the season goes well, you very well could be. What are your thoughts about like moving forward, being one of those guys with those expectations on you, on top of like loving the game? But if you're drafted to a team and it's like, we got Buzelis, people are fired up on draft night, they feel like they got their savior. Like, how do you feel like you'll deal with some of those expectations from a hungry fan base that's ready to start winning?
Yeah, I I don't really like try to pay attention to it. I know like the work I put in, it's gonna show. Even my time. My time is gonna come at one point. So working is like the most number one thing. It's your time will come if you keep working. So that's it. That for me, but I don't think there's expectations, but I don't really think about it.
So with you, it's just all about focusing on the things that you can control in your life.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's a very mature mindset.
Yeah. I can't control those people that say,
Yeah.
Modest, we need you to score 30. I can't do nothing about that, but what I can, it's all like right here with me.
Well, Modest, I wish you luck in this coming year with the G League. Looking forward to seeing how things develop for you, man. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you to Modest Buzelis for joining me on today's podcast. Please be sure to subscribe if you haven't already and listen to my conversations that I've posted already with Ron Holland, Alex Sarr, and then later this week bringing on Etan Almanza from the G League Ignite. Hope you have a good rest of your day.